Oh my god, y'all. My glasses are filthy. What the hell? I just noticed my glasses are like so filthy. I don't know how they got this bad. You just watch Jammy Dodgers while I clean these things. I don't even have a clean chamois in here. Bear with me. I'm just gonna do a little ethanol wipe here. Which reminds me, ex-husband story time. My ex-husband, who had never once in his life worn glasses, and bear in mind I've been wearing glasses since I was like 12 or something. He had never worn glasses, and he got very upset with me one time when he saw me washing my glasses with soap and water, because he was quite concerned that I didn't know what was coating the lenses that might be damaged by the soap. And I really feel like that interaction sort of summarizes his entire approach to our relationship. So anyway, now that I can see things, let me catch up with chat. Hello, welcome Ray, and Sassy Meow. Hello, hey Leo, nice to see you again. Doomed Red Shirt, YouTube ate your message. That is very rude. I'm sorry. Hello, Hoopty, welcome. No, I did not acetone my glasses. Oh my god. That might actually damage the coating. No, I used rubbing alcohol. It's completely safe for glasses. You can also use rubbing alcohol diluted on most, I'm saying very carefully here, most monitors and keyboards, and any phone screen. You can use a dilute rubbing alcohol, either isopropanol or ethanol. And in fact, if you've got a completely glass and metal case, then you're completely fine to just use it at full strength. It's a really good cleaner. But yeah, no, he was extremely concerned about the soap, the literal dish soap that I was cleaning my glasses with, maybe damaging the coating on my lenses, as though, like, he just the number of assumptions that he had to make in order to even ask that question or like get upset with me about it was really extraordinary. But that's kind of the way he was. Yeah, exactly. If it's going to get removed by soap, it's going to get removed by the grease that gets smeared on it all the time. Like I said, he had never worn glasses. He had absolutely no idea. And for some reason, he also assumed that I had no idea, despite having been wearing glasses for basically my entire life. Completely amazing. Yeah, I wouldn't attempt acetone, because that actually might damage some kinds of coatings. I don't know what all the coatings are made of, but I do know that none of them are getting damaged by alcohol or dish soap. It's fucking amazing. Absolutely amazing. Anyway, hi everybody. Hello and welcome to this stream, and welcome to the Sleeping Jammy Dodgers. Yeah, I think everybody kind of has to dish soap clean their glasses, unless you're like one of those people that buys the special glass spray bottle cleaner thing, which I'm pretty sure those are mostly just dilute alcohol anyway. I don't really know what's in those things, but I'm fairly certain they're a ripoff. But yeah, I dish soap clean mine pretty regularly. Sometimes even hand soap. It doesn't do quite as good a job as the dish soap, but if I happen to be upstairs when I decide that it's time to clean them, I will sometimes do that. Unless I'm in here, in which case it's going to be the alcohol, because that's what's handy. Let me show you my cute shirt. This is my cute shirt. Hail Lucifer. We're having a spoopy one today. So I figured I should probably wear a spoopy shirt. I'm going to do, I think, should I let you guys decide? Maybe I should let y'all decide. So what I was thinking about was the two designs that I have not yet done that I am really interested in doing that I think would be heckin' cute are from the stream before last. There was that, both of them were magnetic. There was the jack-o'-lantern, the magnetic jack-o'-lantern face. And there was the magnetic spider web. So hang on, let me show you those again. Okay. That is not the correct input. Hello. No. No. Why are you being like this? All right. Will you do it if I do that? Yeah, okay. So that is the Halloween one. Oop. This is not, or the jack-o'-lantern one rather. Which hopefully you'll remember. And I just think this is really, really cute. But I think I only have, I think it does kind of need to be done with a black background and a magnetic topper. And the magnetic toppers that I have that would kind of work for this design, I have basically like a reddish orange. I have, which is, it's the Starly one. What's it called? Magma? Starly Magma. There's the silver, like the silver hollow magnetic one from Arcana. And then there's a light blue one from Fancy Gloss. So those are the only topper colors I have that would work well for this. And then the other option was the spider web, which is this one, which I also think is really, really cute. Ray says, I was thinking magnetic spiderweb before you even mentioned it. Sassy, I'm not sure Jack Mag Meow strictly qualifies as English. Leo, now you've got the visual aid. God damn it, Sassy, we're supposed to be one brain cell. I did send you a spider the other night, that's true. The jack-o'-lantern is very, very cute. Oh, you think we should do that one closer to Halloween? Yeah, that might be a better option. Okay, so we'll do spider webs tonight then. Again, I mean, we can do any of those three colors that I mentioned. So let's do a poll for that. Actually, you know what? Let me test all three of them on a mat. And then we can decide from there which one we want to do. So just because I think it'll be better. It'll be better if we can test them. We'll just test them on a black mat so I don't have to worry about like actually painting. Let me grab them. All right, so there's an Arcana. So it's Prismatic Potion from Arcana. And then... the fancy gloss might be hard to find. Hang on. I found it. Now I just need to find magma. There it is. Okay. Okay. Hi, Ghislaine. And you think the color option spiderwebs would work best with the color options that I have? Yeah. Blue with the spiderwebs. Well, let's take a look at what they look over black, how they look over black. And also this, so this design is going to require me to use a bead spinner thingy. And I have this really cool bead spinner contraption that hang on. This is Ray's design. And if you're on the Discord, you know what we call this thing. It does look like it would really hurt you and that some people might like that. However, I think it's too loud for stream because like I don't think I can listen to that for all that time. So we're going to use my we're going to have to use my incredibly janky little gelato tub setup, just because it's so much quieter, because it's like, I think that's more pleasant. Yeah. So we'll use that instead. But we won't bother using it for the test. For the test, I think I'm just gonna use a velvet. Okay, so we have Starly Magma. I feel like the velvet will at least give us like a reasonable idea of how well this is going to behave. And then Prismatic Potion. Obviously it won't look exactly the same as the bead style will, but... And then this one, I think it's just called Light Blue Magnetic or something. Magnetic Topper, something like that. Yeah, Light Blue Magnetic Top Coat from Fancy Gloss. Oh, and the Arcana was gifted. The other two I bought. Yeah, it's incredibly noisy for me as well, though, Ray. Like, it's just... I love it. It works incredibly well. It works so fucking well. It's a really, really good bead magnet thing. But yeah, it's just real loud. So, okay, so these are the 3 colors that we have available to us. So what do we think? Do we want to do the red, the silver, or the light blue? Fancy Gloss really wants your money. Yeah, they have some nice... I kind of want to get more of their magnetic toppers because there aren't a lot of companies doing magnetic toppers. Najwa, you tried to find candy, but you ended up with wine instead. That's that's quite a difference. You think the light blue? Someone else mentioned the light blue as well. Doomed red shirt. Yeah, that was you that said light blue earlier. Should we put it to a poll though? Maybe we should put it to a poll. Let's go ahead and put it to a poll. All right, so start a poll. We got red, silver, and blue. All right, there we go. Y'all go ahead, put your votes in. You like the red, but you want to see the hollow? Hey, Ashley. I feel like probably YouTube figured that you should know by now when I stream. And so it didn't think it needed to send you a notification, but then it was like, damn, she is really late. So the magnetic is going to be for, let me bring this back up again. We're going to do something similar to this. So I'll put this over here. So that's the basic design idea. So the background, regardless of what we do, is going to be black. And then whichever color we choose will be a topper done in the bead style. So it won't look exactly like this one does, because this one they didn't use a bead style. But we will. Just laying you were behind. Why are there American patriotic colors? I'm sorry. Hollow is not a patriotic color. Silver hollow is not on the American flag. Silver hollow actually is closer to the pride flag, I would say. So it's practically Antifa colors here. From the Antifa flag. Whatever that is. I should probably start doing a black base on my nails, since we're definitely going to be doing that, huh? You can't get any of your magnetics from them to cooperate for you, and you don't know why. What's from where, Leo? From Fancy Gloss? Silver Hollow is on money? Yeah. Silver Hollow is on money in like every country, Sassy. And most of us did it before the US. Blue is not Halloween-y, but you just posted a pink mani. I saw that pink mani. It is very cute, and I think it is Halloween-y. I think that Halloween can be whatever you feel like. Okay. I'm going to get a base coat down here. This is, I think I thinned this out a bit. I definitely thinned this out a bit for nail art because it's a little less opaque than usual. Yeah, Leo, add thinner is pretty much always the answer if you have trouble with magnetics. Doomed Red Shirt says, remember when the US made fun of us for our, quote, monopoly money? Yeah. Yeah, I remember. Yeah. For most of my life, the Americans were making fun of Canadian monopoly money. And then they were like, shit, it's actually more secure. Maybe we should start doing some of that stuff. They still don't do the color thing that everybody else does, but... Yeah, exactly. Is the polish being weird? Then the next question you need to ask, if the polish is being weird, did you add thinner yet? Because if not, adding thinner usually fixes it. Unless you've already added too much thinner, and the problem is that the polish is acting weird in the other direction, but that's almost never the problem. It is the problem right now because I thinned out my black because I was like using so much of it in nail art and it was drying just a little bit too fast. So I thinned it from the bottle and I thinned it just a little too much. So I'm probably going to have to do a second, never mind, probably, I'm definitely going to have to do a second coat, which I don't normally have to do with this. This is Monarch Nocturnal Noir. It's my current go-to black creme. I have a few that I will use, but this is the one that has not left my desk lately. And disclaimer with that, I do have an affiliate code with them, Vext10. So there's that. And also I swatch for them sometimes, but I buy my own cremes because, damn it, I need good cremes. Which thinner? What do you mean which thinner? They're all the same. A thinner is a thinner is a thinner. Well, that's not true. As long as the thinner is only the correct 2 ingredients, as long as the thinner only contains ingredients that the nail polish contains, then you're golden. They're all the same. You have an over-thinning problem, so you might have been too cautious. Yeah, that can be a thing. Yeah, no, it's just the Canadian dollar bills or all the different like every denomination is a different color, so it's like super colorful money. Yeah, Doomed Red Shirt, I've seen a lot of different reports about that, some conflicting reports about you're talking about heptane as a thinner ingredient, and there doesn't actually seem to be a whole lot of evidence that it damages most glitters. In theory, there are some plastics that will be dissolved by heptane. Never mind, in theory. There are some plastics that are dissolved by heptane, but most of those plastics aren't going to do well in nail polish anyway, and so they don't tend to be used in nail polish. And so as a general rule, the only time you should have a problem with heptane in your thinner is if the glitters that have been used in the nail polish are not really made to be solvent resistant, which it can happen, absolutely can happen, especially if people are, if you've got indie brands that are picking up glitter from unknown sources where they aren't necessarily especially designed for this application. It's entirely possible that there are some glitters that can be dissolved by heptane, but in practice, a lot of people have done a fair bit of testing and used heptane thinners for years with lots of indie polishes and not had a problem. So it's one of those like really persistent rumors that doesn't seem to have a whole lot of hard evidence backing it. I mean, personally, I'm going to be protective of my nail polish and avoid anything that isn't already in the nail polish. So, just because chemistry being what it is, if the ingredient you're adding doesn't already exist in the mix, there's going to be some risk associated with it. So better safe than sorry. I only add solvents that are already in the nail polish that I'm using. So I wouldn't normally add anything other than methyl acetate and butyl acetate, which are the standard. Sorry, not methyl acetate, ethyl acetate and butyl acetate. You've always liked Canadian money. You collected it as a kid. Almost had one of each. Did Jamie make your heart explode? Was she being too cute? Yeah, the KB Shimmer one is just ethyl acetate and butyl acetate, so it's totally safe. Yeah, of course it's chemistry nerd time. Yeah, I can see that if you're especially if you're working with older polishes, because there was a lot fewer solvent resistant glitters on the market. So I can definitely see that being an issue. Always better safe than sorry. Just make sure you're using only solvents that are already in it, and you'll definitely be safe. But yeah, there seems to be a lot more sort of rumor about heptane destroying stuff without anybody actually posting pictures of it happening. So it's like, doesn't seem to be a super frequent issue. I can definitely see it being an issue with vintage polish, though. Just doing a second coat here. I just realized I haven't actually stopped that pull yet or looked at what one. But that's okay. What did win? Blue. Blue won. All right, we're going to end the poll there. So we will be doing the blue. At some point, I'm probably going to have to try a hollow version of it as well. The hollow silver version. If not spider webs, then something else, because I think it's a fun combo. But we did use the hollow magnetic the week before last, so. All right. Nobody voted for the silver, huh? Melting of glitters may be hard to capture since you wouldn't necessarily have a picture before the melting. I mean, yeah, if you're not posting photos of your manis or anything, it's possible. What would happen if I did the hollow on top of the blue? I don't know. Let's find out. We can try. We can try it and see. I probably wouldn't want to have the spider webs below both layers, just because it might start to get a little too opaque. It does still manage to have both the blue and the hollow. I mean, it definitely has still a blue tinge to it, for sure. You're not totally losing the blue. It is a lot less blue, though. So go back and put that blue back in beside it. So you are losing a lot of the blue. Would you like to focus? Thank you. Yeah, it's fairly sheer. But all of these are. They are designed to be worn as toppers. So all right. Curiosity sated. That almost went very badly for my nail. Okay, so I think we're just going to want one coat of, yeah. The hollow blue is kind of spooky. Can you share a link to the nails you did today? Yeah, throw them in Discord. DM me in Discord, and I can. If you want me to put them up on screen, DM me in Discord. The hollow blue is kind of spooky. I think it is. I agree with you. All right, so I think the technique here is going to be, if we're doing black spiderweb like was in the original, then it's going to be do the bead, one layer of the bead design, and then paint the spider webs and spiders over top of that. So I think that's the technique we're looking at. Everyone's seen my little ridiculous contraption here, right? I really need to get Rachel to print me a better version of this so that I have something quiet for on stream. All right. Yeah, it'll be base magnetic, then art. The lighting sucks because the sun went down. I think for the thumb, I'm going to have to be kind of off screen mostly because, yeah, in order to get my thumb in the thing, it's like, it's got to be way off to the side here. I wonder if I can, let me see, if I go like this, can you kind of see? Hang on, let me actually move to the... There we go. Yeah, you can see what's going on there, right? That's not bad. Do we want this view? I feel like this is a better view, at least for the thumb. Before we start this, though, let's look at Doomed Red Shirt's... What do you mean you don't get to see the magic? It's only going to be for the thumb. Could I attach the crank on the 3D printed magnet holder? What are you talking about? Attach what crank? On what 3D printed magnet holder? Ray, you need to use words other than the. Okay, what was I going to do? I was going to go over to Discord and look at what Doomed Red Shirt sent. Oh, you did a crackle topper thing. All right, let me download this. We'll save that. And then we'll, yeah, put it on my desktop, please. Thank you. And then we'll take it and we'll stick it in Safari. And then we'll throw that. This is like a too many part process here. All right. There we go. That's what Doomed Red Shirt just did. So this is Trick or Treat from ILNP and Crackle Topper from LA Colors. That is cute. Good crackle. Okay. You're talking about adding the crank on this tool to the 3D printed magnet holder. No. I cannot. It's impossible. Unless I like drilled out the... I would have to drill out the plastic. Because the bolt that I have for this is like much fatter than the hole that you have in the 3D printed thingy. Okay, we're gonna do this part. And you'll have to see the thumb from the side, and then I'll switch it back over to the top view for the other fingers. Because although you still really won't be able to see what's going on so much, because while it's in the machine, it's like basically a black box. Yeah, Ray, I think I'm just gonna end up getting Rachel to 3D print an alternative, a smaller alternative to the gelato tub. And then probably also use a shorter nut because I won't have to, or a shorter bolt rather, so I won't have to cover so much distance. Okay. There we go. Now, sorry, sticking my finger there. Let's go back to the nails up display. And there is our result. And this will soften a little bit. I am going to top coat before I do the nail art on top, I think. But this will, because I didn't like, unless you spin for like a really long time, you will end up with a little bit of softening, as with any magnetic. Round and around and around it goes. All right. Now, next. Whoop, a little too much there. Okay, paint that on. And then we begin the very exciting spinning process. And the camera, of course, is like, what do I focus on? What do I focus on? I'm so confused. Everything is moving. Poor camera. It's so sad. All right. That's probably good enough. Okay, and there's the second finger. I really like this. This is going to be cute, y'all. This is going to be cute. Of course, it's not going to be precisely like the inspo photo, but that's okay because we don't really do exact duplicates around here. All right, and I always have to be. Oh yeah, I just totally touched my thumb to the tip of my index finger, so I'm gonna have to like touch that up a little bit. Every time well, not every time, about 1 time in 10, when I take my finger out of the gelato container, I somehow manage to scrape the top of my nail on the little hole, the little like doorway thing that I've made. And I don't know why, because like there's easily 2 finger heights worth of space for me there. It's just sheer stupidity. There's absolutely no excuse for it. Just not paying enough attention to what I'm doing. Yeah, I hope nobody's getting dizzy. There we go. See, I dinged the tip of my index here a little bit, just a tiny bit. It's not bad or anything, but definitely kind of messed things up a little. That's all right though. No big deal. Okay. You know, painting up here is probably a thing that will work. And then I don't have to move the whole contraption every time. And you can see it. There we go. All right. Yeah, raising the base would definitely kind of help. It would also make it more comfortable for my thumb. So ideally, I would like to have the base up probably like 2 inches or so, maybe 2.5 inches off the table. I think that would be a good height for me. This makes you want to use your magnetics. You can hear Jammy snores. What are we saying numbers for, Sassy? Are we counting rotations? Or are the numbers random? All right, last finger. And then we're going to do top coat and spin them again. And then we'll start on the art. Isn't this exciting? Just spinning. I did really cute nails earlier today that you'll get to see in a couple of days on my Instagram. I did finally manage to squeeze in a No Kings mani. And I have to say I'm very proud of it. Especially coming on the heels of a whole day of swatching. I think I swatched like 6 polishes or something today before doing that one. We're counting rotations. Interesting. So I did fewer rotations on the index than on the middle, but the middle didn't turn out quite as well. But then I did even more on the ring finger, and that one turned out better. So, oh, that's right, Leo, you're in that collab. We got a couple people in here that are in that collab that will have seen it early. I took the inspiration from gosh, what's the name of that artist who's been painting the beautiful portraits of the protesters in costume? I can't remember his handle. I'm gonna have to jot it down so that I can mention him in my post. 121 on that one, huh? Yeah, it doesn't seem to correlate too much. Number of rotations doesn't correlate too much with how well it works out, which is interesting. Okay, top coat, and then I'm gonna have to do this off to the side again. Do y'all care if you can see or not? What if I gave you jammy dodgers for a little while I do the thumb? Is that more interesting than seeing the side view? I feel like I would probably be more interested in seeing jammy dodgers sleep than I would be in watching the side view of this. VIP access, yeah. VIP access to my manis. That is actually kind of a fun thing about being in a lot of collabs. It's being able to sort of get just a ton of really awesome nail art sort of delivered into your DMs on a regular basis. Very into that. Because Lord knows Instagram doesn't like to show us anything. Like every single time I go on there, I have to hit the followers, the following, whatever it is, the sort by following thing. Because otherwise I see like one person I follow and then 2 ads and a bunch of suggested posts and then one thing by somebody I follow. It's like, what the hell, man? That's not cool. All right. Back to the back to the rest of the nails here. I think I'm just not going to worry too much about having dinged the end of that nail, the tip of that nail. It's not too bad, and probably once I have nail art on it, it won't be so noticeable. Yeah, I don't understand why Instagram is like so reluctant to show you the people you follow. Like, we'll show you anything but the people you follow. We'll show you all these people that we think you should follow, and if you do follow them, then you'll never fucking see them again. It's like, what is the point of that? I see more from people I don't follow that Instagram thinks I should follow than I do from some of the people that I do follow. Oh, I don't use Facebook. I mean, I have a Facebook account, but I don't, I don't go on Facebook if I can help it. I still have the account because every once in a while I need to, go look at do something with like a local buy nothing, or look at stuff that's happening in my community, or check whether there's a, change to the slide schedule for our garbage pickup and stuff. All that stuff ends up getting communicated on Facebook, so it's easier to have an account there. YouTube randomly restarted your stream, really? Half the posts on Facebook are some random AI image that make no sense. Yeah, it's the couple of times that I have been on Facebook lately, I have seen a lot of ads for what to me are extremely obviously AI stained glass, like lamps, and quilts. And they're always like, if you've ever done any stained glass work or quilting, or if you even know how stained glass and quilting work, it's wildly obvious that these are fake things. And there's no way that if you ordered that object, you would get anything that looks like what that looks like. So, but I imagine maybe if you've never really spent a lot of time looking at stained glass or don't know how it's made or anything like that, maybe it's less obvious to people. But yeah, like lines that just thin out into nothing and just weird shapes that don't make any sense. Very strange. Yeah, all about the algorithm and how much advertising they can shove in your face. That is so true. Your dog's family is on Facebook. That's the only reason you're on there anymore. Yeah, I don't do anything personal on Facebook at all. No, I don't have like family members or anything on there. In fact, I got rid of my old Facebook account specifically to avoid family. It's like I don't want to interact with these people, especially not on Facebook. There was like the dumbest drama when my Nana passed away, and my mom's mom, and just like the stupidest shit. And I was like, okay, I don't need this in my life anymore. Nobody needs this. This is ridiculous. You were literally on it again for a month or two, and the same videos would pop up that were Instagram Reels too, but the comments were wildly different. Instagram comments would be lol, Facebook would be wildly racist. What the fuck, man? Yeah, the scam small business. Oh, I need to close my business. I'm so sad to say, blah, blah, blah. I was getting a lot of those on Instagram for a while as well. And like, I also know small businesses that in fact have had to close as a result of tariffs and and previously as a result of COVID and, all kinds of stuff. But they don't use the exact same wording. It's like a bunch of identical posts from vastly different businesses that somehow have all used precisely the same words to talk about how they're closing. What a coincidence. I imagine it works, at least on some people. Facebook thrives on controversial comments. Yeah, I'm sure. I just don't need that in my life. You know, if someone's being shitty, I just block them and move along. Not interested. Not interested in having those conversations with people. If you're someone I care about, I'm willing to have all kinds of difficult conversations and try to come to some kind of understanding, but not total fucking strangers or like people I went to public school with. God forbid. FOMO. People have FOMO for Facebook? I mean, I guess some people do. I don't. I really wish all the indie nail polish makers would stop just relying on Facebook entirely. It's very annoying. Okay, we're done with that. We're finally done with that portion. And I think it's good. I think it's good. We've got a good base here. There was a weirdly specific story about opening the business for or inspired by their young son. Interesting. I guess I didn't see those ones on Instagram. All right. So, in terms of the actual design, I really liked this one. Hang on. Let me get this up. Can you please go to that? Okay, and hello? Why are you being weird? Oh, you're being so weird. Can we try that again? Oh, are you? Hang on. Something very interesting is happening here. This is so weird. Okay. There we go. This is correct. This is correct. Here we go. So I'm thinking about using this more for the design of the actual spider webs rather than the... Let me close these. Rather than this one. Just because I like the way these ones are laid out a little better. So I think I'll use this as the actual web shaping. One video in particular was someone stealing a chair in a musical chairs game. What the hell? Okay, well... Oh, the going out of business stuff? Yeah, those are always just... It's like those... You see those stores, like actual storefronts all the time too, right? Like, there'll be like that one weird furniture store that has said going out of business for like 20 years in the front window. And you're like, yeah, okay, I guess someday, probably. Yeah. I think this is the right kind of webbing. All right, so hopefully we can actually do this. I think I'm going to get a longer brush out though. Not the mega. The mega is too long. I think we just want the macro. All right. Hopefully we don't fuck this up. Handy or Stampy? Always handy. Actually, probably nobody in this chat is going to get this reference. Maybe Ray will, but Ray is a little on the young side. But every time I hear the word handy, I think of the Red Green Show, and I was actually just thinking about it the other day, and had to introduce Brian to it because it's a very Canadian experience. But it's like this old guy that wears like flannel and suspenders and whatnot, and very, very Canadian sort of stereotype. And his little catchphrase is, "And remember, if the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy." That's sort of how he ended everything. Oh, that's right. Doomed Red Shirt, you would know that one as well. Najwa, you know Red Green? Yeah, Ray, you're too young. Yeah, the duct tape, exactly. You have to be both old and have had some access to Canadian culture, I think, to appreciate or to know about Red Green. So the olds in the chat know about it. When you hear handy, you think cell phone. I'm not going to tell you what the other thing that I think of because it's inappropriate for stream. I'm just going to start with doing the little rays for each nail because I'm doing those all with the same brush. And I'm going to switch to a different brush for the other parts. Oop, that did not work out great. There we go. All right. Yeah, I made Brian watch. I was like, just go to YouTube, type in Red Green Show, and then click on literally any one of them because it's all going to be basically the same. And any one of them will tell you everything you need to know about the Red Green Show. That was a staple of my childhood. You grew up watching Canadian TV because you lived near the border. I lived near the border and got to watch all kinds of American TV. We had access to the, I guess it was like Buffalo, or was it Buffalo? Was it? Can't remember. There was like one of the big stations across the water that we would get when I was living in Kingston area. But yeah, so we got all the like ads for the shopping malls and stuff. And that's very funny though. Who am I calling old? I mean, you're not as old as me, but you're no spring chicken, Doomed Red Shirt. I'm sorry to tell you. You're not a babe like these young pups here. You grew up with like 5 TV channels, so Red Green was often playing. Yeah, exactly. I think the one place we lived in, we typically only had 2 or 3 channels on any given day. Every once in a while, we would be able to get like, sometimes we'd be able to get a 3rd or even a 4th channel. But yeah, it was like often just like the 1 or 2 channels that would come in clear enough to be bothered with. So I did not watch a ton of TV as a kid. just wasn't worth it. Jammy Dodgers is sneezing. I can hear her. Jammy, what's happening? You got snorfles? Jammy's got snorfles. Oh no. Okay. 4 channels and the French channel, which was somehow always clear. Yeah, I think they were trying to indoctrinate us all. I very stubbornly refused to actually get decent at French. And I shouldn't say I refused. My brain refused because I tried. I did. I tried, but I even did like the advanced French classes in grade 9 and 10 and 11. And it's a combination of it being taught in a way that did not really promote actual fluency, and simply not having any French speakers in my life with whom to practice. So it basically all went away immediately. I learned to conjugate a lot of verbs, which I promptly forgot. Yeah, I took French from, gosh, I'm not even sure when we started, grade 4 or 5, something like that, through grade 11. Inappropriate for stream, has a pole dancing naked skeleton video shot at all times. Yeah. Pole dancing naked skeleton is totally stream appropriate. I didn't mention I actually have a second cat in here right now. Budgie Smuggler is here. She's just over in the windowsill. Yeah, you don't remember anything? Yeah, me neither. Danger Bay. Yeah, I remember Danger Bay existing, but I didn't watch it. The name I know. I know that it existed. And I think I may have caught an episode or two. But yeah, it wasn't something I would have had regular access to, or really any interest in. All right. Okay, let's go into the web crossbeams. I don't think that's what they're actually called, but that's what I'm calling them. And I think we'll just hopefully, I don't know if I'm trying to do this in a way that you can actually see what I'm doing, but also I can see what I'm doing, and that's a difficult thing to do both of, because I can only see what I'm doing when the light is at a very specific angle because of the magnetic. The magnetic is really making things extra difficult here. So I hope you can see what's happening, but if you can't, oh well. I'll try and show you better when I'm partway through. If the camera is at least sort of focusing, then you should at least be able to get flashes as I move it around. All right. Wasn't doing reruns in the 90s, other than on cable, which you didn't have. Yeah. It probably, that was like from the 80s, wasn't it? Danger Bay? I feel like that was an 80s show. In my brain, it was an 80s show. But I don't know if that's accurate or not. It might even have been late 70s. I'm trying to remember the clothing that they were wearing. In my head, it's very like late 70s, early 80s feeling clothing and hairstyles. I never watched Due South, no. I don't think that existed until I had no longer had access to a TV. Basically, I mean, I could be wrong, but basically from like 1994 on, I didn't have any television access functionally until streaming became really a normal thing. All right, we'll just kind of gesture those in. All right. It's not bad. Not bad. I think I might pull this out a little bit more here. And maybe do one more there. All right. Yeah, I think that's a little better. Okay. First one done. Due South started in 94, yeah. So I remember seeing ads for it. I remember that it existed, but it just wasn't. It is difficult, Sassy. Thank you. Thank you for the acknowledgement. It's really fucking hard to do. Someone look up when Danger Bay was airing. Because I feel like it was late 70s, early 80s. All right. Next one. Next. Somewhere in here, I'm going to also have to put a little spider friend on one of these webs. But I think we'll just get the webs in and then see where the spider will fit. Just going to add a little thinner in here and see if we can revive some of this black we've already got out. Sylvia, hello, welcome. We're doing some spoopy shit. We're doing spoopy shit and talking about old Canadian television shows because there are just enough people in the chat that know about Canadian television. A rare and beautiful thing for me, being around people that know about Canadian television. I usually have to tell my husband about these things, explain stuff to him. Actually, it's funny because we have a lot of, like, just a huge number of common cultural references, but when there are gaps, it is almost always because something was super, super well known in Canada and simply never left the borders of Canada. Occasionally, there'll be something where it's just like you have to be a 60-year-old man to know about it. But almost always, it's you just had to be Canadian or you would never have known. And usually those are music things. Like there's all kinds of songs that in my head are just like incredibly well-known songs that everybody should just have in their head. And it turns out that no, that only applies if you're Canadian. Do I remember the Heritage Minutes shorts? All I'm going to say to that is toast is burning. Peggy has not had TV since you had access to Canadian TV. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, nobody outside of Canada knows who Gowan is. It's true. That's true. There's a bunch of bands like that I'm like, you don't know this song? How do you not know this? This was everywhere. It's like, oh no, it was only everywhere in Canada. Never mind. Kids in the Hall. Yeah, Kids in the Hall was great. I loved Kids in the Hall. I actually met Scott Thompson once. When I was pregnant, actually, I went to the Pride Parade in Toronto the summer I was pregnant. And there's a queer rag in the Toronto area, where there was at the time, called The Advocate. And I guess they had said something that he didn't like about him. And so he, as far as I could tell, was maybe drunk. Was running around with a copy of it and went into one of the porta potties and put it on the seat and then came out yelling, "Everybody come and piss and shit on the Advocate!" And I was like, "Are you fucking? What is happening?" He stopped, saw me, stopped dead in his tracks, ran over to me, got down on his knees, and said, "I bless this baby with the gift of humor." And I was like, this is the most fucking surreal experience of my entire life. It was so fucking weird. I didn't even know what to say. I was just like, okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, Scott Thompson. I don't know what's happening. It was very strange. And I don't know if I would say that Carmen is very funny, but you know, she is pretty queer. So she got something from him, I guess. Todd in the Shadows has made you realize how different the Canadian music scene is from the US. Yeah, it's the thing is that in Canada we have this law that like all of the like the radio stations and whatnot, they have to have at least 10% Canadian content. And so, at least that's what it always was when I was younger. I don't know if that's changed or not, but historically it's been 10% Canadian content was absolutely required, or you would have face massive fines. And so, you know, basically very obscure bands and whatnot would have the opportunity to actually get some airtime just by virtue of being from Canada. Which is, I think, a good thing. I personally think it's a fantastic policy to have, actually. I have no objections to this policy whatsoever. But it does mean that there's like a bunch of bands that you would hear really regularly on certain radio stations, because like how many Canadian bands of any given genre are there that are popular enough for Canadians to want to listen to? Well, not that many. So you just keep hearing the same ones over and over again, and then they end up getting huge. So yeah, it's a thing. All right. Yeah, she was blessed by a fairy godmother. Fairy godfather, I think, yeah. Is it 35% now? It used to be 10%. I know with absolute confidence that when I was a kid it was 10%. I would not be surprised if they changed it. But it was definitely 10% when I was a kid. Personally, I would be completely fine with it being higher than 10%. I think it is a very reasonable thing for the government to decide. All right, so there's another one done. Doesn't want to show quite the whole thing, the right angle. All right. And next, I need some thinner. I need some thinner. All right. I'm guessing Scott Thompson probably doesn't remember that. It was a pretty big deal in my life. It was probably just a blip in his, but it was very funny. That was the only time that I've ever like properly done the entirety of Toronto Pride. It's too much for me. It's too much peopling. It's a lot of peopling. It was a lot of fun, but it was way too much peopling. Other years I've just like like I'll walk around a little bit. I'll go and walk past the parade area and, you know, maybe hang out and watch a band. But it's too much for me to hang around and do the whole thing and go to all the bars afterwards and everything. Too much. Oh boy. Yeah, the magnetic being the only way that I can see my brush strokes, having the magnetic at just the right angle, really adds a whole other layer of difficulty to this. All right. I think maybe one more over here. There we go. All right. Are you gonna? You don't want to show that? Oh, there we go. Just I gotta get both the right angle and the focus at the same time. Oh boy. This is definitely one of those manis that I'm gonna have to do a video of to be able to show off, because it's gonna be very difficult to photograph. Yeah, I think that's probably right, Ray. It was raised to 30% for radio in the 80s and 35% in 1999. Oh, so it's been a lot higher for a very long time. So 10% was from when I was extremely young. It's interesting that stayed in my brain and the 30% didn't, because I should have been old enough to be aware of that change, but for some reason it's stuck in my head as 10 still. Well, that's cool. 30% is good. But yeah, it does explain why there's so many Canadian bands that are just completely unknown outside of Canada. And yet we're on the radio constantly in Canada. And being played right up against incredibly popular American music, which I guess just makes it seem even more popular. All right. The funny thing is I can never remember from one moment to the next, like which songs we've discovered he doesn't know. That information never sticks in my head, and so I can never remember which people I should not expect Americans to know about. I think maybe that song California Girls might be one of them, but I'm not sure. Because my brain doesn't like to retain that kind of information. All right, so Spider Friend. Canadian music has pretty much always been seen as inferior by both Americans and Canadians. Not by me. Except for Celine Dion, who can get fucked. You're sleepy from being out and about today. Oh, wow. TV's 50% Canadian content? That's cool. There's some really great Canadian TV, though. Trying to think where I want to put a spider. I didn't really leave space for a spider, but I'm gonna find a way to do it anyway. I think it's gonna have to go on my index. And I think it's going to come from here. Now, y'all remember what you learned about spiders last Halloween, right? I think there are at least a couple of people in this chat that learned about spiders last Halloween from me being annoyed about people's spiders. There's a lot of bad spider nail art out there, is the thing. Just a really upsetting amount of incredibly bad spider nail art. I even made a whole reel that was just about how to make your spiders not be a completely different animal than what you've intended. All right. Of course, the scale here is going to make things difficult. Is too small to see any real details. Oh boy. Oh boy. That the leggies on one side are much thicker than on the other side. I'm gonna have to do something about that. They can't be that much thicker. We gotta thicken these guys up a little. It is so freaking hard to see what I'm doing here. Well, that's maybe the worst spider I've ever done. Y'all can't even see it. Look at that. Look how bad that spider is. It's a terrible spider. I'm going to have to do some editing on this spider. I simply must. This spider cannot be allowed to stay like this. The snore, yes. Yeah, I think that they count some of the shows that that have been filmed like by American companies in Canada if there is a threshold of Canadian involvement, I believe. Like there are shows that are using like they get some of the funding grants from the province, and have they're using like local production companies and local facilities and local staffing and whatnot. And I believe if there's like sort of a threshold, then that they pass, then it does count as Canadian content. But simply filming in the US would not, or in Canada would not be sufficient for it to be Canadian content. But it doesn't have to be like every single person involved with it has to be Canadian. They're not stupid about it. No, I'm not going to stamp. I saw suggestions to stamp. I respect it, but I'm not going to do it. I'm determined. I'm determined to have a reasonable spider hand painted on here. I'm not expecting a perfect spider, but a reasonable spider. That's better. I could do the spider with some silver magnetic to make it pop. Yes. Yeah, the shows that are just like American productions that are filmed in Canada they're not going to count. Those are American productions. But like I think Orphan Black is one that was a Canadian production. but that had some American and international involvement. Yeah, Jamie is snoring so well. She's really doing an excellent job of keeping me going with her snores. Okay, I think this is better. This is like at least recognizable as a spider now, I think. I do a tiny little bit more editing on this front leg. I don't think y'all can even see what I'm doing here, but I just want to thin this out a little bit. Jamie, my goodness, the snores are incredible. Truly magnificent snores. All right. It's good enough. I think it's good enough. It looks like a spider. A slightly janky spider, but it looks like a spider. I'll take it. Orphan Black was a joint production? Yeah. So I think that would count then, right? It would be interesting to look up all the rules actually for all that, because I'm sure that there's quite complex rules to determine what counts and doesn't count. All right. So we're going to need to do some smudge-free top coat, and then I need to do something on my other hand, but I don't know what. This is the wrong. So we do smudge-free, and then we do regular top coat. I need to clean up this little area. Should I do something from my untrieds on my other hand? I should probably do an untrieds on my other hand, huh? Yeah, I'm curious whether it counted as a Canadian production, because I would think it would. If it's a joint production and completely filmed in, or mostly filmed in Canada. But yeah, I'd have to look it up. All right. These always cloud up. See on the pinky there how it got all like cloudy and weird? It like looks frosted in a way. And then it goes away after a little while and it'll start looking normal again. Do the opposite of spiders on the other hand. What is the opposite of spiders? Something with no legs. That is not at all creepy to anybody and is not associated with Halloween in any way. Is that maybe like a caterpillar? I don't know. Caterpillars do have legs. It's just not. They're not leggy. Worms don't have legs, and they are a little associated with Halloween, though, via witches. I've never heard of Heartland. Yeah, the frosting lets you know it's dry when it goes back to clear. Murdoch Mysteries. I haven't heard of that one either. Balloon. Balloon isn't alive, though. Although I guess if we're doing the opposite of spiders, it should be something that isn't alive, right? I don't know. All right. Let's see. What I'm going to give you Jammy while I look at my untried rack. All right. Oh, you know what? I have this. I have this cute thing. This was made by Ez. If anybody knows Ez on Instagram, Ezgi, I think. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. She made me this, which is very cute. And I think I should use it because I feel like it's going to be very vibey opposite. And I haven't used it, at least not properly. So I think we should do this. And maybe we can stamp something on top of it. It's pretty cute. Yeah. Murdoch Mysteries is a period police drama set in the 1890s Toronto. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I did have a story about this, Leo. It's very sweet. She was playing around with designing polish, just like she likes to mix stuff sometimes for funsies. And she asked for people to submit ideas for what she should do. And I suggested pink with orange flakies, like a hot pink with orange flakies, because I thought that would be cute. And she happened to have the right pigments and flakes to do that, so she decided to go ahead and try it out, and then she sent me the bottle, which is just very, very sweet. So, and y'all know I'm picky as fuck about pinks, but I do like pinks with orange flakes. Orange flakes, orange shimmers with pink, I really, really enjoy. It's obviously going to need a couple coats, but this might be, I don't know, might be a 2-coater, probably more like a 3-coater. It's cute though. Yeah, I think we can totally stamp Spooky on top of this pink. Jamie, she's so loud. Her snoring is so loud. Let me take a look at my Spooky stamps. Ah! Oops. Sorry. Sorry. All right. I really need a better way to secure that thing. Does this pink stamp witch? Flakes don't typically stamp witch well. They really mess up the clarity. I do have a couple of new stamping plates that I haven't tried yet for Spoopy season. So let's see. I should get my forceps out here. You're a sleepy bitch. All right. You should go do sleeping. Thanks for coming to stream and hanging out and talking Canadian shit with us. All right, so I've got this one, Spook Life. Got a jack-o'-lantern. We got some vampire fangs. I like the little skeleton fingers there. Got some creepy hands. I'm not sure what this person is supposed to be. And then this other one is also new. We got bats. We got skeleton. I like this skeleton dude. He's very cute. Little haunted castle. We got a witch. We got a cute kitty. Mini jack-o'-lanterns. Cute shit. They always do these like layered stamp designs, and I almost never do the layered stamping because I find it so much more difficult than just like reverse stamping. Okay, I also have Monster Mash from Lantern and Wren. So some good stuff on here. Little dancing skeletons. That's kind of fun. We got What's Up Nails plate with a lot of cute patterns. Gammon. Here we go. And, oh yeah, this cat plate, which is kind of hard to see the designs on because I didn't clean it properly, but it's kitties and other spoopy shit. Let me see if I can kind of rub some of the residue off so you can at least see what's up in there. Oh, this is a manuscript one, Spoopy Booze. This is a cute plate. I haven't used any of these yet this year. And also Pretty Creepy from Manuscript. And then we got this one from CADS and this one from CADS, which has gotten so much use. I've used this one a ton. It's very dirty. A fish ghost. Oh, she's a witch? I see. The hat is on this. Okay. That makes sense. Spoopy Ghosty Cat. All right, I've used this one a ton and also this one, so I feel like those ones we can set aside for now. Same with this one. I've had these for a couple of years, so I kind of want to use some of the newer ones. So I would say Manuscript or one of these new ones is what I would want to go for. This one I don't think, yeah, this one is brand new. I have not used it at all. And of course these two with the foil still on them, or the wrap still on them, I haven't used at all. Spoopy Ghosty Cat. Fish Ghost? Where was the Fish Ghost? Was that on Spoopy Booze? I wouldn't be surprised if she managed to put a fish ghost on here somewhere. But I don't know. There's a lot of animal ghosts. Not sure what they're all supposed to be. I'm going to put top coat on this other hand. What do y'all think? Should we go with one of the plates I have not used at all before, or should we go with one of the plates that I've used a little bit from Manuscript? On the clear jelly stamper one with the witch. What about this one? I see that the witch gets the hat there, yes. You love all the monsters on the top row of the monster plate. They are very, very cute monsters, and I have not used anything on that plate yet. That is a new plate. All right. We'll get this top coated and then get our second coat of the pink. We could pick a few from the top row of this. Looks like we got a witch and wolfman, and then a vampire and a ghost and Frankenstein's monsters, and I guess that's Grim Reaper. Got the mummy. Guess that's a devil. What is this supposed to be? Is this a clown? Is this just a creepy ass clown? I think that's just a creepy ass clown on the end there. And then Scarecrow and Is this a zombie? What is that supposed to be? I guess that's supposed to be a zombie with the exposed brain. Wait, this is a Grim Reaper. Who's this then? Are they both Grim Reapers? I don't know. I don't know what anything's supposed to be. And do we want to stamp in black? Black will probably stand out better. I'm not sure if white will stand out super well against the pink. Maybe it will once it's built up. Ah, it's on the other one. Fish Ghost is where? On the lower right-hand side. We gotta find this Fish Ghost. I have not seen this Fish Ghost. I don't know what you're talking about. Where is Fish Ghost? Wait, is it... Hang on. Is this Fish Ghost? Is that what you're saying is Fish Ghost? I think it's just a regular ghost. I feel like this is just a regular ghost. Maybe it's a fish ghost. But I think it's just a regular ghost. Dark magenta. I can see if any of my magenta cremes will stamp. They're not necessarily a lot of the time reds are a little bit too jelly-ish, but we can give it a shot. No clown? Yeah, no, I agree. I'm not... I did a clown mani for a circus collab recently, and I hated it. I really liked the elephant I did for it, and I really hated the clown I did for it. Not because it did a bad job, just because, oh god, nope, don't like them. The hands look very finny. Yeah. Looks like a gnome. A spooky gnome? The hell, y'all? I don't know what y'all are seeing. This guy, you think this guy is a spooky gnome? The one I originally identified as the Grim Reaper? Maybe. Maybe he's a spooky gnome. I feel like gnomes aren't that spooky, but Leprechaun exists. The movie. If we're doing those, are we gonna reverse snap them though? If we're doing the character faces? Because that adds a whole other level of complexity. We can do it though. I could do the hands. Doing the hands would be maybe kind of fun and quick and easy. Because those would just be pretty easy to slap on one color, one per nail. I feel like that could be a good option. Need another minute to dry. It's being a typical jelly flaky. They always take a little longer to dry, I find. Do all the mouths. All the mouths. You mean on the little plate? That's a terrible idea. I hate that idea. I'm asking so many questions. Yeah, I am just thinking out loud. I feel like the ghosty head with sheer white shimmer would be cute. The ghosty head with sheer white shimmer would be cute. I agree. Dancing skeletons would be cute. Y'all need to make up your damn minds. I can't get over the hands look very finny. You're not wrong, but it is a very funny thing to say. Spoopy Boo's plate is your pick, Sassy? All right. I'm gonna narrow it down here. Do we do? And don't say anything yet. I'm gonna do a poll. The poll is gonna be monster faces, skelly hands, or spoopy booze. All right, that's gonna be the poll. Monsters. Hands. Booze. All right. Everyone gets a vote. Doesn't matter if two of you want booze. I'm doing a poll. Do we do? Yes. I'm not taking written in suggestions. You have 3 options, Najwa. Pick one of the options. You still think all the mouths would look great on the pink face? I'm horrified by that concept and I'm not doing it. I refuse. I will not. I'm doing a third coat here. I was not sure this was going to become actually reasonably opaque, but it totally is. That's pretty darn good. I don't know if the orange flake is showing up super well for y'all, but in person, it's definitely got like a very orangey shift that is really cute. The delay is a struggle, I know. But it's a struggle that amuses me because I get to make fun of y'all being so far behind me. It's fun for me. Okay. The flakes are flaking. You are not wrong. Okay. I need my cleanup brush. Ah. Yes, yes, yes. Just relax. Camera, you do not need to freak out like that. I managed to get a bunch of overflow, including a biggish flake that really needs to get prodded out of the way there. Okay. That's a little better. Okay. Let's see what the poll says. Booze. The boos have won. The boos have it. Fish ghost. Kitty just got caught in the act of trying to steal her sister's food. How dare. Okay. Spoopy booze. I'm going to put the rest of these away. If you want fish ghost, you're going to have to make your own fish ghost. We'll do fish ghost another time, okay? Just for you. Just for you, Ashley. I'm going to do fish ghost another time. But today is not that day. All right, so Spoopy Booze, I think I want to stamp in white stamping polish and have sheer white. Do I want to sheer white? Do I want like the Dimension Nails the milk jelly, the white milk jelly, to fill them in, or do I want a sheer white shimmer to fill them in? That is a job for y'all to decide on. You may actually say it in the chat whether I should do the milk jelly, the white milk jelly, or a white shimmer. Trying real hard not to screw up these nails while I'm doing this here. Glow in the dark. I could do a glow in the dark topper as well. It's an option. Milk jelly might let the flakies come through still. Shimmer, shimmer. Boobies are pretty cute. Thanks. I grew them myself. Oh, wait, you mean the ones on the plate? Yeah. Your opinions don't matter, so why even try? I told you I'm going to do a whole special thing just for you, Ashley. Just not tonight. I'll do something better for a fish ghost. You make a whole fish ghost Manny. It's going to be nothing but fish ghost as far as the eye can see. All right, let's see. I have never done the boobies. I'm down to do the boobies, especially since we are on a pink base. And it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So I'm thinking boobies are an excellent choice. And there's some cute extra little bees and also a ghost that seems to be maybe stealing. Nope. Yeah, it's trying to catch butterflies. So that might be a good addition to the boobies. All right. I've seen more votes for sheer shimmer than for the sheer white. So we're going to do the sheer shimmer as the fill. Which I think means I want to try and find an orange one. I think I have... Yeah. Are you going to be cloudy enough? I think you'll be cloudy enough. Will you? Yeah, I think so. Where's my black? There it is. I think you have a little bit of a... Yeah, you're a little cloudy. All right. It looks really intense here, but that's only because it's over black and the shimmer takes over. But yeah, I think that should work all right. Okay. Actually, I should test it on this as well. Yeah. Yeah, we'll do that. That should work. That should work just fine. All right. Fish ghost haunting the toilet. That's a good one. All right. Boobies. I should take this off first. And actually, I should clean the stamper heads. Make sure they don't have any hairs or anything on them. They should be reasonably clean from last time, but who knows? Sometimes I neglect to properly clean off my stamper heads before I put them away. I usually do try to clean them, but I just don't always do a great job. Come on. Come on. There we go. I might need to clean this. accidentally lost part of that one stinger. Gonna have to brush on a little stinger. Must be so careful. All right. Let me see if I can fix this stinger here. There we go. Just a wee repair. And then, yeah, I want to get these guys over here. It's like the bees and the guy catching the butterfly. Yeah, I didn't mean to grab that bee. I'm gonna have to get that bee back again. It's all right. I might have wanted that bee in a different spot anyway. In fact, I probably would want the bee in a different spot. Ah, shit. This is the danger of using tape when you still have wet nails. Okay. I'm gonna have to patch that up a little. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna stamp the other bee separately. PSA, don't flush your pet fish. They often spread parasites. Yes. What if you're trying to spread parasites? Well, then I guess do flush your pet fish. But also I don't advise trying to spread parasites. So maybe don't want that. Try not wanting that. That would be good. A friend of yours has a bunch of boobies tattoos because she breastfed all her kids. It's cute. All right. Set that over there. Your tape attacked you too. It's a thing. It's such a problem. All right, I just need this little bit here. And I'm a little bit tempted to also do that other bee. I think I will. I feel like the bees need some like extra bee friends. Can never have too many. All right. I might do even more, but we'll set that aside for the moment. Let me do a little repair here. It can be illegal in some areas to release pets into the wild. Depends on the pet. Depends on the region. And with good reason, just ask Florida. All right. Now. May just went live, apparently. She's streaming some Pokemon, I think. At least that's what Twitch just told me. Gonna have to hurry up so anybody who wants to go watch May's Pokemon stream can go do that. Do I want to also fill in the wings? I guess I probably do, huh? just go ahead and fill in the wings as well. You're watching me and Mei Mei. Tell her I said hello. Tell her I said hello and I hope her kitties are doing well. All right. Gonna need more. I don't have enough. No, I guess I'll fill in the bees the same. So we'll just do all of them the same. Just keep it consistent. Since everything is a ghost, presumably. I suspect that I don't need to be too careful with my shimmer placement because it should kind of just blend a little bit if it overlaps on the edges. All right, butterfly. So tiny. So tiny. Yeah. This is like the worst possible position too. I can't really quite see what I'm doing. All right. No, I'm not going to fill in the net because that would just be empty space in between the little threads of it. Okay. Ack. Just almost knocked over my topper. The glare. Oh, was there a lot of glare on the thing you couldn't see? Sorry. It's challenging to look at what I'm trying to do and also check to make sure that y'all can see what I'm trying to do at the same time. But yeah, I can see how that would have been difficult to see. Okay. So I think these guys will be on these two nails. There. Oh, we lost an antenna. Probably should have put some sticky base down. I was playing a little too loose there. Got to put a little sticky base down or I'm not going to be able to attach the antennae. All right. Just do a real gentle little bit there. Unless the net is also a ghost. But even then, if the net is a ghost, the threads... Ah! Oh my god. Well, that's never happened before. Okay. I'm sorry if I just yelled in anyone's ear. The high-pitched yelp was probably not super fun if anybody was wearing earbuds, so I apologize if that was the case for anyone. I was not expecting that. Yeah, serious jump scare. All right. Yeah. That was extremely unexpected. I've never had one of those fall out while I was in the middle of stamping. That was very weird. I think I was saying something, but I don't know what. It's gone now. Oh, unless the net is also a ghost. Yeah. So still though, the threads that make up the net would be ghost threads, but the gaps in between would still be just gaps in between. Otherwise, the air around a ghost would also be ghost, and that doesn't make sense. Like, if I die and become a ghost and I put my ghost fingers together like this area in here doesn't become ghost just because it's encircled. I think it's still a gap. That's what I think, anyway. I mean, I could be wrong about how ghosts work, but it feels right to me. All right, I'm gonna put this guy up here. And then maybe I do this guy. Do I want him down here though? Do I want him over here? Do I want him up here? I think I want him up here. There we go. Okay. I feel like this is done. This feels done to me. Yeah, Stamper is alive. It's very spooky. You know, I promised a spooky stream. And gosh darn it, I'm giving y'all a spooky stream. Complete with possessed Stamper heads. All right, we're going to have to do again the seal glaze is the word I'm looking for. I guess we can just do regular top coat on the other nails, but these nails definitely need seal glaze. For sure. I'm 100% going to smudge that white. I don't know how I managed to get that one so far off to the side, too. That was really good. I did a really good job of applying that one. And by really good, of course, I mean incredibly bad. All right. There we go. We're almost done, y'all. We're on the home stretch. It's so weird how it clouds up like that. They're very cute. Even though I put them way off center, they're still very cute. I like them. Boobies, good choice. Y'all did a good job. As usual, as I have come to expect from this chat. Making the good design choices. All right. Let's see what Jammy Dodgers is up to, shall we? We've got a good snore going. Budgie is still up in the cup, which, can you see that if I... Yeah, there she is. There she is. Cleaning herself. What a good girl. But she refuses to go hang out with her sister at the moment. Everyone did a good job except for Ashley. It's true. Ashley was the only person in the entire stream whose advice I did not take at any given time. on purpose, because everything that Ashley suggested was a terrible idea, because Ashley is so bad at this. I'm telling you, I'm going to do a ghost fish mani just for you. I'm going to do a whole mani of ghost fish. It's going to be the fishiest, ghostiest mani you ever saw. What the hell, man? Budgie just did something that made a lot of noise, but I don't know what it was. She's cleaning herself now, though. I mean, she was cleaning herself before, but now she's cleaning herself in a way that is less gross. Budgie smuggler. What a good girl. Ghost fish. Okay, let's do top coat. Let's do top coat. What do you say? I'm pretty pleased with how both of these manis came out, actually. They're both really cute. But the spider one, I was really excited to try out. And I'm glad that it worked out well. I do think I would have done a better job with the spider if I was not doing it on stream. It is so hard to try and make it so that you can see what I'm doing and also I can see what I'm doing. It's like basically impossible already, and then add the magnet situation to it and it's like fucking ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Nobody can see nothing. But we still did all right. We got there. 10, 10, 10, 10. Does that mean they're both 10 out of 10? I think they're both pretty cute. Very happy with these. Doesn't want to focus up. I'm going to have such a hard time photographing these. This is going to be so hard to photograph. But they should look really cool. These guys are going to be easy to photograph. Aside from just it already being kind of hard for me to... I have a hard time posing and like setting up my lighting properly for my other hand, because everything's sort of optimized for this hand. And like I have to move all of my lighting over to the other side, and then like my whole sitting position, everything is weird. I can't see the screen on the camera properly to like focus and everything. It's very awkward trying to get photos of this hand, but I'm gonna have to because this is cute. All right, so let's see. Next week is next week gonna have to be the Arcana. Let me just get my calendar up, because yeah, so next week's stream is going to be an Arcana lacquer stream. So they have actually 2 mini collections that if you follow them, they've been teasing on Instagram. So there's 2 4-piece collections coming out on the same day. Neither one of them is strictly a Spoopy collection, but they are definitely seasonally appropriate and super cute. So I'm going to be doing a like swatch and review and nail art with those next week for next week's live stream. And then I guess the 30th we'll do a final Halloween stream, which I have no idea what I'll do for that. Maybe that'll be the ghost fish. I'll try and get the ghost fish done before then. But yeah, we'll do one last Halloween stream. on the 30th. Actually, oh wait, oh no, I have a better thing for the 30th. I think. Is it the 30th or is it the next week after that? Hang on. No, on the 30th we will do a last Halloween thing. The 6th there will be another collection swatch and reveal or swatch and review and nail art thing. But I won't tell you about it yet. But some of you might already know ish because there's been some teasing on the Discord about some upcoming BCB stuff. So that's what that's going to be. Anyway, yeah. So next week, hopefully y'all can make it. Better than Ghostfish, I think not. Ashley, if you don't show up for Ghostfish, I'm going to be so upset with you. I need you to know that if I do a Ghostfish mani for you, I'm going to want multiple likes, comments, rave comments, GIFs, animated GIFs in comments. I'm going to need those. I'm going to need a mention in your stories on Instagram. I might need you to repost that. Like, I'm going to want some serious excitement out of you. I'm just saying. Okay. Yeah, so hopefully I'll be able to see you all next week for the Arcana Lacquer. You will clear your calendar, pick a day. All right. Apparently, Ashley and I are going to fight, but it's going to be me painting Ghostfish for her. But it's also a fight. I'll meet you in the parking lot and paint Ghostfish. All right. Thanks, everyone. Don't forget to like and do all that stuff. If you haven't subscribed yet, do that. And tell all your friends. Tell the whole bunch. I just had a hippopotamus for lunch. Okay. Bye.